Yeah, hi everybody. Yeah, I'm wearing a mask. It's because I have like a dental issue going on, and not because I'm afraid of getting COVID. That never happened. All right, so bad radio. Seriously, I never got it. So, why are you laughing? Anyone in the room got COVID?
No.
Okay, good. I'm not gonna take the mask off because vanity is one of those sins, and I love it. All right, so we are here for the recording of Bad Radio. It's coming alive right now in front of you. Let's do this. Let's put this one. No, let's do that one. Let's do this button here. This will work good. All right, 1, 2, yes. Boom. Ooh, look at that's pretty. All right, I'm going to push this button here and then stop pushing her buttons. And pushing your buttons. All right, just push this button here. I'm pretty good at this. This is what I kind of do. All right, and I'm going to start this bad boy. Where's my timer?
You're listening to Radio Cosmos.
All night long.
Bravo! My compliments, little lady.
Commercial!
Break for 30 seconds.
You are now listening to Bad Radio.
Hello and welcome to Bad Radio. BAD stands for Business at a Distance. This is a show about local businesses and business networking. We are here in the News Radio WFLA Orlando studios from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'm your host, Angela Smarito, and in studio with me, we have our producer, Melissa Fox.
Happy July 4th weekend. Wow, 4-day weekend.
I know. Trust me, I know, because nobody's working.
I know, right?
Taking an early holiday.
Oh my gosh, it's like trying to get stuff done right now, work-wise, has been just not happening.
Not happening.
Up next, we have Melissa Jacob with Striking Brand.
Hello.
She is, that is really sad applause.
It's okay.
You can do better than that. There we go.
You know how those kids, they're not paid, okay?
Melissa is our co-host and our videographer. And if you go to badradio.com, you can see all the previous episodes of Bad Radio there because she does a beautiful job. And if you go to strikingbrand.com, you can see all of her other work because she is a photographer as well as a videographer. We have a very special guest today. Please welcome Lauren Dulgery. Dulgero.
It's okay.
After all that?
You got one of those crazy names.
You know what? It's when you get put on the spot, you can like recite it over and over again.
Behind the scenes here, I asked like, how do you pronounce that? And we all got around and said it, and then
I blew
you
it.
dropped it.
You know what's funny, though, is I was so excited when I got married and I got to change my name from my maiden name, Roundsville.
Oh.
So long. I was so excited. I'm like, oh, yes, shorter name, easier to pronounce, winning. No, it got worse.
So much harder.
Well, Lauren is with the House of Solandria.
House of Solandria,
yes. And we are going to get into what exactly that means. But first, we're going to talk about Frogger's Bar and Grill. So if you're looking for a place to go with friends or meet new ones, then you're looking for Frogger's Grill and Bar. With 4 great locations, there is bound to be one near you. Come with friends or bring the family for some food and fun. And don't miss out on Frogger's amazing menu where everything is fresh, never frozen. Oviedo, Mount Dora, Apopka, Altamont Springs, Frogger's, hopping with food and fun. All right, so next up we have the networking news.
Okay. And can you do that, Reed?
Sure.
I'm so sorry.
The networking news is brought to you by Symphonic CBD, which is a branch of Live Your Best Life. They are both advocates for Green Compass Global. Green Compass products are USDA organic, lab-tested, non-GMO, made in the USA, and cruelty-free. CBD products are key for making calmness a habit. They also have CBD for our fur babies. To get more information on the benefits of CBD, visit symphonic-cbd.com. That's symphonic-cbd.com.
Okay. All right.
Now you're up.
Now I'm up. I'm ready now.
Okay.
All right. So this time I wanted to do something fun. We did a kind of like a questionnaire last time on networking. So this one's more, it's like a true or false. So you don't have to come up with the answer. You just get your 50-50
thumbs up or
right.
thumbs down.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, actually, this is radio, so we're probably not going to do
The
that.
visual's not going to work. But we'll do a true or false. Okay, so the first thing was true or false, networking is a new concept.
Absolutely not.
No, false.
Yeah, that one was too easy.
Yeah.
That's too easy. False, networking is not a new concept. It's been fundamental aspect of professional and social interaction for centuries. So this isn't new, even though for me, B&I feels new, even though that's not even new.
I think that they've taken networking to a whole new level.
Yeah, with digital, being able
Absolutely.
the digital aspect,
Yeah.
you can do so much more.
But I think that networking probably was around before advertising was around. I
That
mean,
makes sense.
I would think so.
I think networking probably existed since the dawn of time because people did group together, they banded together, they created partnerships to
This
have
one's
more.
like this one's
And I
like
guess that's just a really
Yeah.
rudimentary form of networking.
it's like
when
I
it
got
comes
the
down to-
fish, you got the rice, you
Yep.
got whatever our trade's gonna be,
Yeah.
and we're gonna get together, and they're gonna be like, "Ooh, Lauren, she's got the best rice
Yeah.
in town. You need to go use Lauren."
That's true. Bartering, when you have the barter system, you need
Yeah.
to know who you're going to. You need to know some people.
Love it. Love it. Yes. Yes.
That's true. Okay, the next one is true or false. Networking helps build business connections just for like established businesses.
I'm gonna
Okay,
go
I'm
with
gonna
false.
false with that one too.
All day.
False all day. Networking is a valuable tool for building business connections regardless of whether you are established or in your early stages. Honestly, I think it could be even more beneficial if you're in your beginning stages because you don't have those connections yet. And if you get out there and start building your network, that's how
Yeah.
you're going to start growing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're a perfect example
Right.
of that because your business was just starting, and BNI's kind of like changed the face of it for
Yeah,
you.
brand new.
Yeah.
So all BNI was like my starter pack to my networking. So that really helped a
Well,
ton.
think of even students. You know, they're going to look for internships or apprenticeships or a university or a job. What's a great way to do that? And probably meet something that you wouldn't have found online.
Like,
Networking.
Yeah. Or chamber events, or even being
Chamber
a guest.
events
Yeah.
or, you know, some of the RIAs, the real estate groups, if you wanted to go be an agent. There's also some business groups where we get together and we discuss strategy. So there's a lot of resources now, and it's really opened up people's.
Yeah.
You can't even say backyards anymore.
Yeah.
Because the entire world is your backyard. You just need
Pretty
to know
much.
kind of how to search it and
Mhm.
press a button.
Well, my daughter Anna is 18, and she runs Symphonic CBD that I just did that read for, and she
Mhm.
joined a BNI group. And I know part of her, she's 18. I know part of her is like, why? These are all these people are talking about mortgages and stuff like that. I'm like, Anna, this is all stuff that is going to mean so much more because she's going to get a business degree.
Mhm.
I'm like, you're going to be so far advanced on some of your, your co-students or whatever you want to call them, your
What are
whatever
they?
other
What are
students
they?
that you're going to be like, you're starting
Peers.
early. Yeah, peers. Thank
There
you.
we go.
I'm like, what do you call your co-students?
Co-students, you know what we mean.
So yes.
Yes. Okay, awesome. So the next one is not working with me. Hold on. Sorry.
But I meant,
Technical difficulties.
I did like the fact that you brought that up. I was waiting for that to happen.
Oh, Buzz. Okay.
Time's up.
I got it. Okay, true or false? There are more men active in networking than women.
I'd say no. I don't know.
I want to say true.
I say false.
This one didn't give me an exact answer. I think that they're just trying to kind of be like,
I
and
think because
don't-
women are more social.
I would think that too. So it says historically there have been more men active in networking than women, which kind of makes sense because historically there'll be more men,
men are-
business
yeah,
owners than
yeah.
women. But I think that that's changing.
I agree.
It's
Like-
definitely changing.
Because, yeah.
Remember, 38 million businesses owned in the States now are owned by women.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say
um,
38 million?
I believe that's the number off the top of my head
Yeah.
without going on
Yeah.
Google
Yeah.
search.
Chat GPT, hello.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would totally say that it's definitely changing because, yeah, I mean, back in the day, men were the business. They were the ones that were going to work. They were the ones running the businesses
Mhm.
and whatnot. So now it's totally different, especially even for like the businesses that women do online. They still do their at-home stuff, but then they work like,
Right.
Doing whatever it is online, like Live Your Best Life or
Mhm.
any of those. I mean, Terry goes to more networking meetings than anybody I know. So
Okay. And then if you think of your BNI chapter, I mean, I think it's mixed for me.
mine is Boss Babe heavy for sure. That's
Okay.
one of the reasons why I joined it. I know you came to my chapter one time
Mhm,
too,
yeah.
and I mean we have heavy hitters in there like Jennifer Andrews, who sponsors the show. Andrews Law PA, she's a trial attorney. We have Rachel Roach, Rachel Roach Realtor. We have
Mhm.
Lizzie Barassa with New York Life. So ours tends to skew more female. But I mean, like you said, the men hold their own as well. But I think that ours is more female.
So yeah, so I guess that's tides are changing on that.
Mhm.
All right, so true or false is going to be the last one. Networking doesn't work unless you do it all of the time.
False.
False?
It is false. I thought it was going to say true. I thought it was going to say, yeah, you got to be consistent and keep on doing that and nurture and grow it. But it said false. While networking consistently can be beneficial, it's not necessary to engage in networking activities all the time for it to be effective. It's about building, maintaining relationships, and the quality of those relationships is more important than the quantity or frequency of networking events.
I think that I've had situations where I went to a networking event and I met somebody and we made a connection, but then we kind of like went different ways. And then a year later, they reached back out to me and we ended up closing business together.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? So it did take some time.
Love those boomerang sales.
I know. I have a good story for you when we get back from break. Okay. Speaking of that, we are going to break right now. And when we get back, we are going to learn what House of Solandria really means. So stay tuned.
Ah, yes. Stay tuned. It's Bad Radio on News Radio, WFLA, Orlando.
So I got. No? It looks good. I got somebody reached out to me and it just said bad inquiry. And it was a gentleman who said that he was friends with you and I on Facebook. And he was interested in doing on the show. I'm like, he's a public adjuster. So
This doesn't work. Oh, there we go. Do you remember his name?
Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I meant, so turns out that he and I weren't friends, but he was friends with you, so he saw all the posts and everything.
Okay.
But he works for a public adjuster company. It's like the biggest public adjusting company in the United States. So he's going to come be on the show. But then we have a meeting with him for Mindful Media Group.
I would love to know who this friend of mine is.
You're going to find out.
I guess so.
I mean, but here's the thing: it's on Facebook, so I don't know if I'm like friends with them. Or,
he knows Brooke really well. Hang on, I'll tell you his name. Super, super awesome guy. And like I said, it was just cool because he's like, I reached out to you for the show, and then turns out you can do all this other stuff too. Daniel Robowski.
Oh, okay.
Robowski.
It sounds familiar.
That name does sound familiar.
Super, super awesome guy.
Hold on. You guys ready yet?
I just don't know. He was Coastal Claims.
Okay.
So.
Makes sense. Okay. Segment number 2 coming down the line. All right. That means stand by.
Welcome back to Bad Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back to Bad Radio, and this part of the show is brought to you by Premier Couples Superstore. It is hot, hot, hot out there, so best to plan some inside activities. But first, a trip to Premier Couples Superstore. They have the best selection of lingerie, shoes, toys, games, love oils, clubwear, and so much more. You won't pay those high prices because you'll be going directly to the source. 5009 South OBT, or shop online at premiercouples.net, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, baby. You know Premier Couples Superstore?
I think I've been there, yeah.
It's a fabulous place. And like I said, it's so hot that you got to plan things to do inside. So you go there, you pick up some stuff, you go home. Actually, that reminds me, we have a commercial to cut after this.
Okay.
All right. So we're here with Lauren with the House of Sola. So I'm going to get it wrong again. Solandria. So first and foremost, welcome to the show, Lauren.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Lauren and I have known each other for a couple years now, and she actually attended the first Bad anniversary party, which was, 2 years ago
That was
now?
2 years ago. That was so much fun.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
actually thinking about doing another one. I'm probably going to do it Froggers in Oviedo, but I just have to figure out a time that works. So I think it's due. It's way overdue.
When it's cooled down,
probably.
maybe not 142.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. But so like I said, we've been acquaintances ever since, and I always am inspired by the stuff that she posts, because everything that she does is very supportive, especially when it comes to women in business. And I love that. You know me. I'm like, I'm all about
Right.
I'm all about
Women's support.
my sisterhood. But first and foremost, tell us where did you come up with the name of House of Solandria?
So I have an interesting story. I've lost it all. I've gained it all. I've lost it all. I've had traumatic brain injury. So I kind of always sort of identified with a phoenix coming out of the ashes of the sun. So when we were coming for thinking of a brand name for the family, it kind of seemed to work, and everyone in the family really liked it. I love our logo. I'm super excited
Yeah.
about that. But House of Salandria is a family of brands that is geared to solving obstacles, problems, obtaining solutions for both individuals and business owners. Like Angela had mentioned, I do specialize in working with women. Obviously, I am a woman, and it's still sad to say, but a lot of times we still come up against the gender inequalities, particularly when it comes to banking, money, capital, for our businesses, which is a lot of times why you see many women struggling to get their business off the ground, to get it to the next level, to get the capital they need, to get the inventory, the equipment, the marketing, whatever the case is.
Right.
And that shouldn't be like that in 2023. Well, I guess I started this years ago, but now 2023.
Right.
It shouldn't be like that for any certain reason. And we were talking about networking. Even the face of networking has changed over millennia. Doing business has gone virtual, so that's changed. So it's only natural that women are going to be coming into a new space and working together, coming together as a family to really elevate each other's businesses, but also really aid in serving our communities. Our mission is to elevate the socioeconomic status of humanity as a whole. And that means societies, communities, and keeping families together. Does that answer that portion of the question?
I think it's fantastic because you know what it makes me think of is like I went to an event called 100 Women Strong. Are you familiar with that organization?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah. And they were talking about the inequalities of pay versus men versus women. And they gave us an example about two equal people. One went for a job. One was a man, one was a woman. The guy, it was paying whatever, $100,000. The guy went in and said, I want $115,000. The woman went in there and said, I'll do for 60. But she didn't know that it was $100,000.
Yeah.
She was just trained in her head to lowball it because she didn't feel that she could ask for more.
Yeah.
So of course they're going to hire her and pay her $60,000. But you know what I mean? She could have got $100,000.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't so much them as it was her that went in with that mindset of, I'm not worth
Right.
what.
I think a lot of that comes from our culture
Right.
historically. I
Right.
know,
I
like we mentioned, that it's changing,
Right.
but we were kind of brought up in it. Our moms, our parents, their grandparents.
And I don't know how that. I mean, it's just like how you said it's historical because I feel like so my parents divorced and then my mom didn't remarry, but she's like super independent and has like super strong, been able to do all of her stuff like on her own. And I feel like I'm a lot the same way like that, but I still identify more with that like I'll do it for 60
Right.
mindset.
I do too.
I don't know why.
It's
I tell
do
people
too. I'm guilty.
Well, I'm not as much as I used to be, but I tell people all the time, do not be embarrassed to tell me how much something costs. Do not, because like I said, whatever you feel that this worth, tell me it. Let me make that decision. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't start undercutting yourself before you've even got to that table with the sales contract.
Right.
Because that drives me crazy. Do you think, Lauren, do you see how like oh, we have a visitor. Just here, give it right here. Do you see like a change in so capital ventures, or like you said, when the business is starting, right, and they need capital, and then you go to, what do they call it, the capital investments for
Dominic, serious.
okay, sorry.
Sorry, guys.
So anyway, where were we?
Capital.
Yes. So they go to companies, right? And they pitch their ideas, kind of, you know what I mean? And then they kind of are asking for that starting capital, right? Now, a lot of those times it's a woman and they don't understand what her business is because they're all a bunch of old men. Do you see that happen a lot? Or do you think that maybe those old guys are going to start to age out and we're going to have a fresh, younger group of people in there that
aren't there also organizations that specialize, like it focus on women, like helping to?
So, again, when we open businesses, we were trained, we save money, we take like whatever savings we have and we start it, right?
Yeah.
And then we're told we go to the bank, we get a loan, and we start off in debt immediately, right?
Exactly,
We haven't even made $1 and we're already in debt. Nobody ever taught us how to put together proper profiles so that you can walk in and obtain capital from day one, properly structured, where you know it's going to bring a return for you, where you know you're getting the best rates, where you're creating a relationship with your banker, where your banker is going to want to do business with you over and over and over because you're making money together.
But I bet this is kind of what you do. You advise people on this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's tough to see, particularly women business owners, go in, they're so excited about their new business. They go in, they ask for a loan, and they don't get it. More times than not, it's because they're using their social security number.
I've
back
heard that. Yes.
Oh, fatal mistake, fatal mistake. And I love teaching people about the difference and how to use those social security numbers and EINs to our advantage, because I didn't even learn it in business school. I learned all of this stuff through my own mentor.
Right.
Prior to that, I have masters. You know, I didn't gain access to this level of knowledge until I engaged with a mentor who had already been there, done that,
Right.
been the places.
Was your
I
mentor
want.
a man or a woman?
Man?
Really?
Yes.
But they still taught you a lot of it, obviously.
He taught me everything in capital, in finance, in communication, in negotiation, in structuring businesses, and building out businesses, and exiting all of
Right.
credit.
That sounds amazing. I am very interested in this, especially the whole thing about your social security number, because I think that, like you said, once you give somebody your social security number, you've given up your basically any sort of protection you have
Yeah. So
on
why
your personal assets, right?
Yeah. If anything goes awry, you stop paying, the bank wants to foreclose or bankruptcy, it comes back on you. So you could lose your house, you could lose your
Oh
car.
my gosh.
Any retirement accounts that you didn't have secured properly. So those become things that can be vulnerable in those situations. As opposed to running things properly through your business, everything is backed by your business. So if, God forbid, something happens and you can't pay those bills anymore, they just take the items back from the business and you stay safe.
That's phenomenal information to know.
And you said that people could get their loans denied because they're using their social security number?
If they don't have the right credit
Okay.
profile.
Got it.
You know, there's so much that goes into credit and finance and capital that it's like a zipper, I guess is the best way to put it. You put in one piece, next piece, and that's how you get together.
Okay. I definitely want to talk more about this because I think this is incredibly important information for business owners. So stay tuned. We'll be back with more Bad Radio.
Sounds like a good time. Why don't you stay tuned, huh? 11 to 1 every Sunday afternoon right here on News Radio WFLA Orlando. Let me go back and fix that while I'm here.
Are you able to fix that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I just had to, I just have to clean this up real quick, okay? 8 minutes in. Let's see where we are.
And then you go to, what are they called? The capital investments for. And then you
nailed
go
it.
to, what are they called? The capital investments for. Okay.
Is that the banana first? Come on.
Oh. See how like we have a visitor. Do you see how like we have a visitor? Oh.
She's actually she can fix it.
They kind of are asking for that starting capital, right? Now, a lot of those times it's Lauren, do you see
Capital.
Yes. So they go to companies, right? And they go to companies contract.
Right.
Because that drives me crazy. Do you think, Lauren, do you see so they go to companies, right? And they
Right.
because that drives me crazy. So they go to companies, right? And they pitch their idea.
Yeah.
That's what we did in school.
All right, straighten it out. That should work. Hold
Especially in the
on.
nursery
Let me go
schools,
back
you
and
took
fix.
ones and then you took the
Okay.
big ones and then you had to go to the little ones.
All right. All right, I fixed it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Melissa, what you doing? Yeah? Yep. Segment 3. We got a little extra time this segment because of the banana and the cereal.
Sorry about that.
Nah, it's okay. It happens. It happens, people.
Probably not.
Yeah, maybe it's the first, really.
It's okay.
That was kind of, it was a first, let's be honest. Melissa, you look great. All right,
Thanks.
everybody in social media land. Yeah, this is the behind-the-scenes crap that, happens. All right, stand by, everybody. Here we go.
I'm going to be like the story of the station. Great.
Welcome back to Bad Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back, and this portion of Bad Radio is brought to you by Forge IT Consulting, providing a fully outsourced IT department with a personal touch for small business. No company is too small with ForgeITConsulting.com. John presented today in BNI, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, he's such a great guy. If
He
you
is.
ever need like a computer person, I got a guy.
Anything IT, security.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. I mean, he's done everything from like fix all my printers, like made all my printer, or not all my printers, but all my computers be able to print to my printer, and worked on my kid's computer and networking stuff. And he set up like my badradio.com. He's done everything. So we're here with Lauren Dulgaru.
Hey,
Like it?
you like it?
Got it. Got it. So during the last segment, she was talking about some stuff that really kind of blows me away, because I remember you telling me about this stuff before, and it was before I was actually a business owner. And I have to tell you that I didn't understand.
Yeah.
But now that I am a business owner, because a business at a distance is a LLC, I understand what an EIN number is, and I understand what all this stuff is. But before, I'm like, what's wrong with giving your social, social security number? But that being said, so you said that that's a common thing that happens that causes people. I mean, if their credit isn't good and they want a loan to start a business, they might get denied because their credit isn't what it needs to be.
Right. Well, remember, anytime you're using your social security number to apply for any type of credit, pretty much anything, it's going to get run, and they're going to go through and they're going to get the report on your profile, and they're going to look through it.
Yeah.
And notice how I call it a profile and not a credit report, because they can be rebuilt. There's 6 main sections that get rebuilt to get great credit, rock star credit, as you can
We've
see
talked
on
about
my
that
channels.
before.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's 6 main areas that we go into, we rebuild, and that's what creates that 3-digit score. But it's not the 3-digit score that makes you fundable. It's the quality of the profile and how cleaned up it is, how robust it is, different mixes. It's not always about that 3-digit credit score. So walking into a bank, even though you have a 750, for example, and not walking out with whatever capital you were intending to get, could very well be just your profile wasn't cleaned up. It's not always about the 3-digit number.
What do you mean about? Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
What do you mean by cleaned up? What is it?
Well, okay, so for example, I've gone from, like a 720 down to a 650 up to a 700 down. You know what I mean? Like I've yo-yoed throughout
They change all the time, yeah.
Yeah, but throughout my adult life, depending on if I'm buying a car, if I'm doing this, if I'm doing that. You know what I mean? I've never been able to get it like at 750 and just let it stay there, because I mean, but is that what you mean by cleaned up? They see these values?
No. So, for example, credit repair, right? We all have an idea of what credit repair is. And they go through and they file all these disputes to take off late payments, collection accounts. That's cleaned up. That's the idea of cleaning up, is removing the negative items.
Okay.
Oh,
And then we replenish it with positive items, things that are going to make you look like a rock star, so that every lender wants to give you all the money.
Do you have to bring an attorney or anything in for those disputes?
No, not typically.
Okay.
I mean, all situations are different. People are usually always at different levels. I have had some circumstances where we have called in an attorney, but typically, no, not.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So so this is another thing that you do under the house, is that you work with people on establishing not just a good credit number, but you said a profile.
That was actually one of my first businesses after my divorce, was helping people restore and replenish their personal credit profiles. And then I started breaking into business credit profiles and helping people marry those two and separate themselves so they don't have the liability.
That's phenomenal. How do you start business credit when you are starting a business?
There's a lot of pieces that go into it.
Yeah.
There's about 47 pieces. But when you're building business credit, you don't necessarily just go marching right in to a bank and create a bank account. There's a bunch of other factors and variables that you really want to make sure that you have in place.
God, she's
so
making me so nervous.
So that you're coming with your best foot forward.
Because we're like, we're doing it wrong.
I know.
Let me ask you
I
this.
definitely just signed up for a bank. I'm like, oh crap. What
I know.
was I
She
supposed
just
to
said everything
do?
that I did.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Your business address.
Mm-hmm.
Where does it go to?
My home.
My house.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Sorry, ladies.
Okay.
Where are you supposed to make it go if
A
it's
P.O.
'cause
box, I'm guessing.
I think
No,
it's not supposed to
You
be.
wouldn't use a P.O. box.
Yeah, it won't let you do a
because
P.O.
A lot of
box.
places, creditors, banks, lenders won't deliver to a P.O. box.
Okay.
So you can get a virtual address. There's spaces that you can rent for as low as $10 a month so that you can
Virtual
get your
space.
business mail.
You
Yep.
mean like renting a mailbox at an established business?
At a business, yes, but not a office max where they have some business
right.
like mail
Okay.
services.
Uh-huh.
Not a P.O. box at a post office,
Mm-hmm.
but this is an actual corporate street address.
Right.
So when lenders go online and they Google your business, they see this beautiful corporate office
Interesting.
instead of your house.
Huh.
Because what would that tell? What would that tell a lender if they're searching you to see if they want to
Well, yeah.
underwrite you and they get your house?
Yeah.
But then the guy next to you searches it and sees this big Fortune 500 business.
Mm-hmm.
Who does he want to lend to?
Yeah.
No, you're making complete and total ridiculous sense to me right now.
Ridiculous.
Sorry.
That is this episode.
That is always the piece of news that people are like, no,
Mm-hmm.
no.
What
I'm
else
like,
wrong did I do?
Yeah.
Can I go back and change it though?
Yeah, it can be changed. It takes a little while.
Right.
We have to go through the different entities, but yeah, we can change it.
Okay.
We can update it.
Yeah.
What about doing business as thing? How important is that to go through changes to do that?
Again, it depends on what you're
Is that
trying to
random?
accomplish.
Okay, I'm just trying to get my
Um,
own business knowledge over here.
Yeah.
for my-
Destination always determines direction. Like your business is not going to be the same as her business,
Right.
Because they're just different industries altogether. So capital requirements are going to be different.
Mhm.
Underwriting requirements might look a little bit different.
Mhm.
You know, where you might have your business address might look a little bit different. So there's not one solid.
Answer for
Recipe.
got you.
Right.
Everyone gets their own little dash of pepper, salt, maybe some coriander. Okay,
Mhm.
you don't get chili sauce. You get red chili flakes.
What you cooking over there?
I know. I just
I
made
don't
me
know.
hungry.
Maybe I'm getting hungry.
So okay, my business is a radio show.
Mhm.
But I meant, you still think that would need like an address that's not my home? Since it's
Are you going to be building and growing your business?
yes.
Then absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
I mean, because it is, like I said, this is, I mean, the radio show has sponsors.
Yeah,
so-
if it's not a hobby and this is your business
Mhm.
and you want to be able to access capital so you can grow it, more stations, more marketing,
Mhm.
then absolutely. Those would things that you would want to restructure and put together so that you can start your business credit profiles.
Right, because the way that I could grow this show is through sponsorships,
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
the more sponsors that come on, the more money capital that I have, and then
Yep.
I can, like I said, then I can have the capital to expand into other markets because I have to cover the cost and all that other stuff. But I mean, you're saying that I could potentially go into like a lender, and if I have all my ducks in a row, and say, this is what I want to do with my radio show. I want to be in every market in the state of Florida. I plan on making X amount per market, but I need this much to get started to get to those things, and then I'll get the sponsors. How that would work.
I mean, that's a highly simplified version, but yes,
Yeah.
that's about closer to where it would be. But I also want to ask both of you the question, you know, so often business owners particularly feel like, I don't need capital. I'm a real estate agent, right? I don't need capital. But let me ask you this. What if you had capital to go ahead and buy income producing assets, again, through your business, that brought you more revenue, that increased your valuation right away?
Like what? I mean, give me an example.
Real estate,
Properties.
businesses.
Okay.
You know how I like to buy businesses and
I
real
do.
estate.
Yes, I do.
And I learned very quickly that when you add value that way, you grow exponentially faster as opposed to more sales, more sponsors, more markets.
So business at a distance would buy, I don't know, a piece of property?
a piece of property, it would buy an auxiliary company, a business that
Uh-huh.
kind of is in alignment with it.
Ooh.
And then you automatically grow your balance sheet just at acquisition by buying that item.
But
or
I know,
that
but I would
asset.
have to borrow the money to buy that and then go
Mhm.
from there.
That's the business credit portion of it.
Ha.
But
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
Is it
it's like
not?
you say, if
Yeah.
you don't think you need money for inventory or whatever, I want you to think outside of the box. There's other ways to bring in revenue to your companies.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we're going to talk more about that. And actually, when we get back, I want to talk about one of the companies that you just acquired, and it's called Q Grips. So we're going to talk about that when we get back. So stay tuned.
You're listening to Bad Radio on News Radio WFLA, Orlando.
You want to check on him?
One more segment.
Yeah, one more
I
second.
didn't see his face in the window.
One more segment. Okay.
I feel like I'm a genius for bringing food for him.
Yeah.
Like this. Do you have the Q Grips? Okay, cool. All right, Craig is here. Good to go. This is fascinating, by the way.
I'm glad. There's so because we're so limited on time, it's very difficult to give it all.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I try to stick on the key things that I know most everyone's making a mistake about.
yeah. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Q Grips, and then we're going to talk about, like, at the end of this segment, she's going to start the music about 60 seconds out, and that's when we're going to give all of your contact information, and then I will also share it when I do all the posts, like when I do the post for the show and, like, the video and stuff like that. So we're going to direct people to you that are listening to the show that might want to do a consultation or, you know what I mean, do something like that, because that's what you want, right? Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Now that that's been
Ready to
figured
go?
out, let's go ahead and start this shindig. What do you think? Okay.
Welcome back to Bad Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
This portion of Bad Radio is brought to you by Ground Up Property Services. Rainy season is here, so don't make the mistake of overwatering your lawn. Call Rick Hall with Ground Up Property Services about a water sensor. Too much water can be just as harmful as not enough. And while you're at it, ask about the irrigation system inspection. And don't forget the lawn painting service. If you're planning an outdoor event and you want to hide those brown spots, call Ground Up Property Services at 407-468-4295. You can also find them at groundupinc.net. And we are back with Lauren with the House of Soul Andrea. And before break, I mentioned that she just recently acquired a business, and it's called Q Grips. And what I would like to do is just talk about that whole process. I meant because the last time I talked to you, you're like, girl, I never thought in a million years I would do this much research on earwax.
That was never my study point, actually. Think of that.
But how did this whole come to be? Well, first of all, tell us what Q Grips is.
Okay, so Q Grips is a tool to clean your ear without pushing the earwax farther in. We've all heard the stories about Q-tips pushes the dirt, the debris in farther against the eardrum, and then you get impaction, you get infections,
Yeah.
and sometimes you can lose your hearing. You know, particularly older people, because they have the hearing aids.
Yeah.
They experience a lot of impaction, and it can also be affected on the shape of your ears.
Okay.
So Q Grips is a very soft silicone spiral that actually cleans out the earwax. I got it here with me. Here we go. But you can see how flexible it is.
Oh,
Like
nice.
it goes in any size ear,
Mm-hmm.
babies, adults, people with autism, because they have different shaped ears.
Well, also I noticed that people that are
Down
autistic.
syndrome. I'm sorry, Down
Oh,
syndrome.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Because I was going to say that people with autistic lots of times wear headphones a
Mhm, mhm.
lot
Yeah.
because of their ears, and I thought that maybe that might cause them to have more ear issues. So Down syndrome, yeah.
It could. But definitely Down syndrome because of the shape of the ear.
Mhm.
But it goes in, it shows the direction that you have to
Oh,
twirl
nice.
it, and it cleans it all out and it brings it out.
I think-
My 9-year-old was just complaining to my 15-year-old to not use Q-tips last night. She was doing one of those things to her.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She's like, you know, you're not supposed to do that. She's like, what else am I supposed to do? So now I have an answer.
Q
But
Grips,
it's a phenomenal product, and you said it has one competitor, right?
we have one competitor over in the UK right
Okay.
now.
Okay, but you're just saying that it wasn't as soft, it's not as flexible.
There's so many things that are different about them. It's not as soft. The tip here on the end is wider. So it might not go into all ear types, or it might cause irritation to smaller ears.
Right.
But it doesn't have the flexibility. The spiral is more far apart, so it doesn't pull out quite so much.
Right.
It's not buy one get one free. It's not free shipping.
So that's so how did you come about like this opportunity?
I am always looking for businesses to buy, particularly with the economy now. I was looking at virtual businesses, online businesses, and happened to come across this one. And the seller was a younger gentleman who had taught himself to create online stores. And he had created this a couple of years ago, and it had totally exploded. So he went and he was creating another one in a different niche. He had lost focus in Q grips, and it went down. So he
Which
decided,
happens, you
It
know.
does. It does. When you don't have a team behind you and, people assisting you, it happens. So he had put it up, and I saw it. I was like, that's an interesting concept. I never thought about earwax cleaners.
Yeah.
But we had a great deal come out of it. Capital, that was awesome. We negotiated a perfect structure. He's still got his other business. Q Grips has joined the Solandria family. So we're very excited.
Right. And so the next steps for Q Grips, though, is like, I mean, you started advertising. I know you said you were going to start doing the social media stuff, right?
It's
That's step one,
advertised.
right?
It is. It's advertised. It's on Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and
All of them.
TikTok. Yes.
TikTok.
Yes.
All the things.
All the things that are out there.
My marketing person, he's fantastic. He really goes out of his way to make sure that we have the reach and that things are also connected, backlinked, making sure the keywords are on top and working well. But we're also going out this Sunday, actually. We're going to be going to the Lake Eola Farmers Market.
Okay, so you're going to start doing some
Because,
event marketing. Love
people
it.
might see this online and be like, no.
Yeah.
So we're going to come out to the market this Saturday or Sunday, excuse me, and we're going to be showing and letting people try them out. Just so you can really feel how it is. Because even if you don't have an earwax, you don't feel like you have an earwax problem, you don't really accumulate it, the brain massage. Okay?
Yeah.
The brain massage. I think I put that in the post yesterday or something. And I always laugh when I think about it, but yes. I mean, I used to clean my ears just to scratch my brain.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
just me.
No, that's not just you.
You know what's weird is my dad, when he cleans his ears, it makes him cough. Is that so bizarre?
Yep, so bizarre.
I have heard
So
of that
bizarre.
before, actually. I know someone who sneezes
Yep.
when they clean their ears.
Yep,
Yeah.
I've heard that too. I'm like, I guess it's all connected back in there somewhere. But yeah, my dad, he'll clean his ears and it'll make him cough. I'm like, that's just bizarre, Dad. I bet my parents would like that.
They work really well. But
So I
ear
think,
massage.
like I said, event marketing, awesome idea. Like, because that's like super grassroots, get in front of people, and that's a perfect target demo. What is it? The one at Lake Eola?
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Well, you know where to find me when you're ready to bust it out that stuff, because I'm all about the direct response. So now that, like I said, and so now it's under the House of Solandria. What happens next? I mean, do you just are you going to go out and start looking for new businesses? Do you work with this one until it's starting making a profit, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to sell it, or I'm going to hold on to that one because it's making me money, and then I'm going to move on to the next. I mean, how does Lauren work with this sort of thing?
Well, with Q Grips, we're going to be going to install an executive team, an executive board to really take it to that next level. It started marketing, so we're getting more sales coming in. It's already turning around.
Okay.
So yes, we will be looking. We already are looking for additional businesses to acquire. Remember how I said auxiliary to something like this? So things that can be in alignment with ear cleaning. That way, it's kind of staying all in the same family. You see. So no, we are always looking for other businesses. Even when we were going through the acquisition for Q Grips, we were still actively talking to business owners to buy more businesses. It's not just me. So when you have a team, you can really take on 5 companies, all of the brands of Solandria, and add on new companies and help other business owners and be service to the community.
At some point, though, do you okay, I'm going to sell this?
I might. Probably not. I might keep it for.
Well, not just this one, but some of the businesses. Have you had some that come under the house and then you are like, okay, that's.
I haven't. No, I don't really sell much of mine. I help other people sell theirs.
Oh, gotcha.
I would just like to keep growing ours.
No, that's good.
Do a lot of research and find the ones you like, and then you keep them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My boy Dominic will love them one day.
Yeah.
So. Well, all of this stuff is just, like I said, really eye-opening when it comes to how to grow a business. And it's not just a business, but a set of businesses. And
How many businesses do you own?
5, 6.
You are a born entrepreneur.
Don't call her that.
Oh,
So that's the other thing. I have to.
Oh, God.
Okay, hold on.
It's an
I should have had-
industrialist.
We're going full teacher mode on this. Okay. So entrepreneur.
I said that.
We have
Thing.
about a minute 30. So
Buckle
go for
up.
it.
So
Yeah.
entrepreneur is a person who organizes and operates a business and taking on greater than normal financial risks.
Okay.
An industrialist is one who controls industry. Nowhere in that definition did you hear about a financial risk.
Okay.
I know. I called her an entrepreneur when we did our one-to-one.
Did you get a hand slap?
I got my hand slapped. She's like, you know an industrialist. I'm like, I do? She goes, yeah, Roosevelt. I'm like,
Roosevelt, Rockefeller.
Rockefeller. I'm like, when have I know?
Trump.
How do I know Rockefeller? But I was like, okay, maybe like one, when I think of Rockefeller, I think of like, I don't know, railroads. But anyway, Lauren, you've been a great guest. Thank you
This
for
has
being
been
here
so much
today.
fun, guys.
So give everybody your contact information because I think that there's a lot of people that could really benefit from talking to you.
Okay, so for Q Grips, it's official/Q/grips.com. You can find it all over Facebook too. Like I said, there's advertisements. But then to contact me about your business, please go to Principled Women in Biz, like biz.com. Principledwomeninbiz.com.
Perfect.
And what I'll do is when we post the video, I will include all of that information as well. All right, so we're going to go to break, and when we get back, we're going to jump into hour number 2 of Bad Radio. So stay tuned.
Don't forget about Melissa Jacob. We love her.
Oh.
What's the name of your website?
Oh, Striking Brand. I thought we were rapping. I was like, let's scoot on
no.
out.
Hour number 1, you never know. Stay tuned for the second hour. Be right back.
Yeah. I was like, I feel like that. I thought we were going super long. I was like, sure, we need to get on out. Thank you so much for sharing about everything.
So I will walk out with you and get my other guest.
I would love that. My daughter is